In this video, we'll review how to find the line of best fit using the TI83 or 84 series calculator. The line of best fit in statistics is referred to as the regression line. We have a data file of 8 points. These are ordered pairs, so the first location is the X, the second is the Y's. We will enter those into two lists in the calculator, and we will have the calculator perform the regression line analysis. Before we begin, we want to be sure that there's no pre-existing data in the lists. And the way we clear those lists is we select the stat function, which is the stat key. Notice the mouse here on the calculator. Select stat. A menu appears with three main headings of edit, calc, tests. We want edit because we want to clear lists, which is 4. We only have two input values, X and Y, so we only need two lists. And the lists are second function keys of 1, 2, 3, etc. So we need second L1 for list 1, which is where the X values will be entered. The software syntax in the calculator requires a comma to separate lists. Enter the comma to list 2. And somehow I ended up with a second comma here. I need to delete that. Press enter, and it's done. So now our lists are clear. We can now proceed to entering the data points into the calculator. So our data values are here, and we'll go back to the stat key. We want to edit the list, so press enter, and up appear our lists. We want to put the X values in list 1. So we'll now proceed and just enter the X values. So 38, enter, 28, enter, and I'll just proceed along doing this with your fingers on the keyboard is much quicker than my entry using the mouse pad. In this last one, I'm going to enter incorrectly. I want to show you how to edit an entry if you should make an error. So it's 45. We really wanted 46. You just scroll up to that entry and you write over it. So now that's correct. Your display should now appear as it does here in the slide and also here on the calculator. Let's move on and do the Y's. The Y's are going into list 2, so scroll over to list 2 and begin entering the Y's. Once you get some facility with this, you'll see it's quick and easy to do. I'm near the end. You're probably finished with this. So our data is now entered into the calculator. Your screenshot should appear as it does here on the slide and also on the calculator. Well, I have a problem here because I'm missing either a data point in the X or I have an extra one in the Y. And I can see here I have an error. So how do we correct this? Well, this is important that the data pairs match up. So we have 3862, 2846, 56102. Well, this is wrong because we should have 2436. So let's correct that one. And we need to insert one here. I missed a 56, so I'm going to insert. So you go second, insert. We need another 56. $24, 77, 40, and 46. And if we go over here, let's double check these because I believe there's an error in this one. 60, 69, 113, 36, and this one should be 88. This is how you correct for errors, and it's also important that you observe that we must have matching pairs. We can now go ahead and calculate the line of best fit. So to do that, we return to the stat function, and now we're going to perform a calculation. So scroll over to calc. We want to use linear regression. As you see, there are a number of other regressions available. We'll use these later in the course. For now, we want linear regression. That is number 4. We need to tell the software where the x's and y's are, and the x's are in list 1. Separate the data fields by a comma. The y's are in list 2. We press enter, and we have our linear regression equation. A is the slope, B is the y-intercept. So I want you to look over here now at the slides, and we have our linear regression. The slope is the A, the intercept is the B. We don't need this number of significant digits. And the R squared is a value of the goodness of fit, or how close the points are to our linear regression line. Now that may not appear on your calculator. So the next slide will explain how to turn that on, because we need the R squared value so we know our goodness of fit. So the way that's done is there's what's called a catalog of functions in the calculator. In the way we access the catalog, it's a second function on the 0 key. Second, 0, and up appears this catalog of functions. We need to get to what's called diagnostics. That turns on the R squared. So we keep scrolling down. You can see there's quite a few functions available to us. Diagnostic on. Press enter. That says we're selecting diagnostic on, and to turn it on you must press enter again. And when you do that and go back to stat, we want to calc. This is good review. Calc. We want number 4, linear regression. Again, tell it where the lists are. So list 1 is the x's, list 2 the y's. Enter, and your R squared should appear as it does here on the calculator. So again, this is called the correlation coefficient, and it explains how well the line fits the data points. You may be interested also in seeing the points in the line on the display of the calculator. So to do that, we have to turn on the graphing feature for statistics, and that's called stat plot, which is the second function above the y equals key. So you select that function, second stat plot, and up will appear this display. The plots now are all turned off. We're only going to use one of them, which is plot 1. We need to turn that on. Select enter, and this will appear. Off has a background. We need to change that so the on has the background. We press on, so that has the background. We can have 3 types of displays on stats. We want points, which is here. These other 2 you'll learn about if you take a statistics class. We won't discuss those now. So we want our points. Press enter. And this is saying that the x's are in list 1, which is good. The y's are in list 2. These are the defaults. And the mark we're going to have on the display is a little square. We could have plus signs or little points. Let's go with the little squares. Those look good. Now, to have this actually plot, you select zoom, and this will appear. And if you scroll down to number 9, it says zoom stat. That's what we want. It will automatically set the window size to fit your data points. Select enter, and there are the 8 ordered pairs that we had from our data, and the scale of the x and y is automatically set for us. Let's go ahead and add our regression line to this. And the way you do that is we just enter the line into the y equals, and we're going to use just 2 decimal places. So y equals, let me clear that, 1.49 x plus 3.85. Get that done. Select graph, and the line now appears with the data points. This concludes this video. If you have questions, please see your teacher.